going on? Robert Mail. Looks like we're missing somebody. Production team, where's Glenn?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Glenn Murray. Oh, that's not him. Hold on. That's Glenn Murray, the accountant. That's Bill Murray. Hold on. Glenn Murray of 220 Media and Marketing. There we go. Glenn Murray is the host of Secrets from the Cave. He's a man about town, a man of purpose, a man of business. He's also the owner of Wine Crawl, a book publisher. He has successfully published several books. Here he is on the red carpet with the one and only Keisha Rose. Miss Keisha Rose and Yanni. Damn, Yanni. But he's a great, great man. In all seriousness, Glenn Murray and Keisha Rose have been a true blessing to Indie TV, and we thank them for their support. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Glenn Murray.
Well, it's about damn time. Finally, see, this is what happens when I told you my contract was up today. The changes were made. Those Secrets from the Cave.
The hell was that, man? Oh,
God. That's Emmy winning. That's Emmy nomination material right there. Thank you so much to my producer. I'd like to thank.
How much did he give you, Raj? How much? what was the payoff?
Hey, he said that was Emmy winning, like Emmy medical examiner. Like,
I'd like to thank the producers for that beautiful, heartfelt, truthful intro. First of all, I think I might extend my contract now. I think I might stick with the Cave for another, 6 months or so. I had asked for some other changes, host, but we'll see about getting that done later.
You thought it was heartfelt, huh?
One step at a time, one thing at a time,
Yeah, whatever. We do have a guest on our last show before our break. Production team, let's bring him in, Mr. Steve James. That's right. Give him some applause.
My brother.
Everybody doing, my brothers. Goodness. Yeah. Thank you for inviting me to be into the cave. It's an honor and a privilege, my brothers.
Hey, man, glad to have you. Really quick before we jump in, man, time goes very, very fast. You're going to be surprised how quickly that hour gets eaten up. But give me, man, about a 45-second blurb on who you are, what you do, how you ended up in the cave.
I am Steve A. James, the founder and CEO of Smelly Fresh LLC, which is a residential commercial cleaning service. I was introduced to the cave by Robert Hazard. He and I go all the way back to high school. Very good friend of mine. And I've heard many, many good things about this show. And I'm so glad and so honored to be here. And I look forward to making a contribution as best I can.
Hey, man, you got that many years with Robert. I need to send you a bottle of something.
Care package. You need a care package or something.
I knew it.
We go back to freshman year. Yes, we do.
Man, I only been messing with him for maybe 6-7 years, and it's been exhausting.
I love you too, brother.
Hey, man, but we're glad to have you, man, as a production team. Tell you in the green room when we wrap up, don't leave. We're going to holler at you when the show is over. How's everybody feeling, man?
Tired, but good.
Yeah. I mean, we need the 2-week break, I think, that we're going to take after this. So if you are watching, this is our last show before a 2-week break. As always, we ask you to share the show to your social media, and I'll probably remind you to do that maybe midway through. I am not drinking whiskey or bourbon tonight. I'm actually drinking rum. And I'll always, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, Steve, you may know, is it Bumba? Bumba? You know what I'm talking about with the cross on it? Where's my bottle at? If I was a true alcoholic, I would have my bottle. Oh, here we go. Y'all know this bottle, right?
Yes.
Yeah, somebody, Chris Dade, who unfortunately made the choice of Omega Psi 5, but Chris Dade put me up on this particular rum, man, and I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it right or wrong, but it is good. So let's get into it, man. This is the relationship show. right? And so we're gonna devote the whole hour, man, to relationships. And I'm gonna come out the gate with one of the hot topics that we had. Is it abusive for women to put pressure on men to provide them a life that they cannot provide themselves? And I'm gonna do a Yanni on this one and say, and point B on that is, does it matter whether or not the woman is able to provide that life or not when we assess that expectation, right? Because that's something that we are constantly defined by. Somebody, I can hear your phone, you're echoing. So whichever one of you guys needs to turn down your media for me. And so, what do you guys think about that? Do you think it's abusive that we carry that belief that that's our expectation? And I can say this: I've been in situations where the lady I knew she could not support herself well, and she defined me by how much I contributed to her household, her pocket. And Mel, I'm gonna get at you first because I got a feeling that you're gonna let it all hang out tonight. It's the last show. I'm gonna ask you to do it first, and then I'm gonna read verbatim what that actual quote was. Go ahead.
So I think it's a crock of certified bullshit.
Okay. All right.
For that to be the expectation, if indeed there's an attitude attached to it. What do I mean by that? In some situations where we go into it willingly to support and be the breadwinner and provide a lifestyle that she couldn't provide for herself, and it is appreciated and the reciprocity is there in other forms, I'm good with it. But when the provisions are there and you don't want to clean, or you don't want to cook, or you don't want to contribute to the relationship in any form, shape, or fashion that resembles your appreciation for what is being brought to the table from the other side, you just want to pop off with your girls all day, and talk about whatever, shopping, nails, and all of that other stuff, then yeah, I got a problem with that. I think that's not right. So overall, is it wrong? I won't say it's wrong if the man is willing and there's reciprocity. I think it's crazy, though, that the expectation is there so heavy and men get talked about the way that we do if we don't, or if we say something about it, or whatever the thing may be. So
check this out. I'm gonna ask Steve to jump in here, and before I do that, I'm gonna actually read the quote verbatim because I find it interesting that the quote came from a woman. And like I said, I do want to deal with that Yanni Brown part B in terms of whether or not, if she's not in a position where you're sustaining her, does that expectation change at all? But the actual quote reads like this: I find it very abusive to put pressure on men to provide us with the life we cannot provide ourselves as women. As much as women are not rehabilitation centers for badly raised men, men are not poverty eradication plans for lazy women. So Steve, holler at me. What do you feel about that?
I totally agree. I mean, here's my thought process. I mean, if I'm meeting a woman, I kind of ask them several questions. First question I ask them: Are they a team player or a team builder? She tells me she's a team player. She's not somebody I want to be with. I'm looking for a team builder, so because I want to make sure that you can build with me and not play with me. Then I ask them: Are they a period or are they a comma? If you're a comma, that means you have all this baggage going on. If you're a period, that means you have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And that's the type of one I'm looking for. So we talking about a woman who's saying that, hey, yeah, well, you're making all this and you should provide for me because I'm giving you this. Well, exactly what are you bringing to the table? Now, if as Mel said earlier, if you're willing to be, if you're going to give me the reciprocity, if you're going to be that team player, team builder with me, and if I'm going to provide for you doing this, then yes, it has to be equal footing that you're going to then expect to do this. And I'm not saying it has to be cooking and cleaning, but it has to be something where we are building our team, because at the end of the day, it's our team. It's not about me and about you. It's us. And we're not doing that. Yeah, I got to kick you to the curb. I said, I'm not even going to rap with you. I'm not going to.
Yeah, you said something that I've said on the show before. One of my best friends who passed in 2018 told me he wouldn't give a woman too much time that kept talking about what she brought to the table. He said, because it's our table. If you keep talking about what you bring to the table, then it's not our table. It's your table, and the table is not community, and the table should be community. Glenn, with your age, I'll come back to you, Steve.
Can I add one more thing too?
Yeah, come on with it. Come on with it.
Oh, he froze.
The women that jumped in the computer and hacked Steve.
You know it. You know it.
So whatever he was saying, it was like they done hacked him and froze him
right when he got ready to say something.
Yeah, there's a secret cabal of ex-girlfriends who's hacking.
Okay, he's back now. I think, is he back? No, nope. He's still frozen. So Glenn, talk to me. Steve, you probably gonna have to log out and log back in. They'll bring you back into the room. But Glenn, tell me what you think about it.
No, I think you want a partner, not a dependent. You get to a certain age and the expectations change. It's not about me jumping through the hoops to impress you, because the circus has gone away now. You've gotten into real life. You liked the circus when you was a kid and when you were younger. So now we're talking about real life and dealing with real bills, real goals, real expectations, and just real reality. So you want somebody that's the equivalent, or that equals you in ambition, that equals you in thought process, that equals you in elevation, all of that.
Well, we of course we know that, but what I'm asking is it fair or unfair that women often walk in the door with that financial prerequisite so boldly, offered to the man?
No, it's unfair, but you, like I said, when you elevate your thoughts, it's kind of like circle of friends. You change your circle. The older you get, the more expansive you get. You start to change the people that you date the older you get, and the more knowledgeable you get about people, and the more goal-oriented you become. I truly believe that. Think about the people you dated in your 20s versus the people you dated in your 40s.
The people I dated in my 20s were in their 40s. No, I'm just playing. Robert, give me something. What do you think?
I think the whole reciprocity piece of it. But for me, brother, I'm learning. I've got to ask different questions. I think Steve and Mel probably said it right, that we've got to ask what type of team, what type of relationship do you want? And if we ask those questions in the beginning, we know who to kick to the curb and who to keep, on the bench and move forward.
Yeah, I think the unfortunate part, man, when I talk to women, and then Steve, I didn't forget that you had something you wanted to add. I'm gonna circle back to you. I think the unfortunate part is that it's hard to find. A lot of times, it's hard to find women that will call that to the carpet, and say, "Hey, that's really not cool." They're because men are more than their wallets. And what I think the amazing thing is that so many times the man that's willing to do that is oftentimes a man that's all he has to offer. And that's why he's so quick to do it. And so then when he does do that, they're missing the other components and they're still not happy. Mel, jump in there so I can get back to Steve.
Yeah, just real quick. I think the key component in this, though, in the post that you read, is that they said lazy women, right? And it circles back to what I was saying as far as how do you contribute to the relationship? Like, I get that it might not be a 50-50 on all sides or whatever. So if the expectation is for a man to provide a lifestyle that a lazy woman could not provide for herself, that's one thing, as opposed to my field of profession, I might have more earning power than my mate or my spouse. So I am able to provide financially a lifestyle, but she's able to provide that emotional and moral support and be my cheerleader while I'm out there slaying these dragons on a daily basis. And she gives me what I need to be able to do what I do in the world. That's a little bit different than us providing for somebody who's lazy and couldn't do it for themselves.
Right. Okay. I want to come back to that. Steve, make your point before we really think the women hacked you, man. They didn't like what you were saying. They hacked you and they froze you. We think that's what.
That's okay. I'm fine with that. No, and basically what Mel was pointing on, that's what I was going to bring up, but so he just hit it. So I'm good. So we move on.
So check this out. Let me throw this at you though. And I'm throwing that out there just in general. Men don't get a pass whether it's laziness or not. Like a man can be working 80 hours a week on a low paying job. Get no love for the fact that he grinding 80 hours a week. He it's still based on what he can do or can't do or provide. And so even when we talk about the lazy piece, we don't get that benefit. I know some cats that they work hard. They just don't have enormous salaries, or their hourly wage is not amazing or whatever, but they have work ethic. They take their work seriously. And he played for it, Hey man, let's move on to the next topic. We're at about nine almost. So as usual, things go by very fast. Thank you, everybody. Share the show. I think Keisha is people on the thread. But I got a question for you. Is there a particular age that men can get to? Because I've heard this week. A single man over X age, single, never been married, no children. Is that a red flag?
No.
I like. Why don't you manage the ladies in the chat? Because of course this is all our belief. But I have heard, I'm over 50. I've never been married. I don't have any children, and I've had women act like, okay, so what's wrong with him? Are you choking women out or something? Like, what's going on?
I've been a red flag since I was 30, because it seems like it started then that you were a red flag if you had no children and never married, and just the clock starts. But I think it's stupid. Number one, it's a stupid question for women to ask you, and if you're holding that against me for me not bouncing around and populating the earth, then I got to think there's something wrong with your mentality and how you see men.
Right. And I do too. I've been married, but I don't have any children. And the bottom line is that it's funny that I hear that seems to be a red flag, but see that when you see the single men, when we get women who have kids, we seem to be that father figure for them. And they seem to be happy that we are in those kids' lives. So why would we be a red flag if we now see them being exactly the dad that they want, that actually the sperm donor, if you will, to be? He's not doing that, but they gave him all the privileges, kick us to the curb about certain things, but give him all the privileges, even though he's not doing anything for those kids. But it's those kids who are actually, and I have been in relationships where I have taught a child how to ride a bike and how to read and how to tie a shoe and do certain things like that. But they then gave the guy who was the sperm donor all the passes. And even though that child had nothing, didn't even want to do with him, they wanted to deal with me. So how can we be a red flag? I don't understand. I just don't understand it at all.
My question would be, okay, would you rather a man that's never been married with no children, or a man that's been 2 or 3 times with 4 or 5 children? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, where's
I feel something about that.
Okay, but
I feel some kind of way about that.
Stevie,
I don't know what y'all said. Y'all break it up.
Steve's breaking up.
Yeah, Mason,
take
you
him
in the
out,
matrix,
Raj.
bro.
Yeah, I think that Steve's breaking up, Sean's breaking up. Hey, but you know what?
Women are
might find
sabotaging the relationship show.
Yeah.
They took over the relationship, fellas.
Hey, they may feel that it's a red flag because I've been married a couple times, and I do have children by the same, mother back when I was 20 something, but I've been married a couple times, so they may feel it's a red flag for me.
You know, I think it's dependent upon the game, right?
Mhm.
What a flag, when a flag gets thrown as football
Yeah.
is different than when somebody gets a yellow card in soccer. You know what I mean? Like, you can't say this is a red flag. It depends on the person and what it is that they want. At one point in time, I used to say in my younger years, oh, I never date a girl with trophies. That's what I call a woman with kids. I never dated a girl with trophies, right? She got a trophy, you know, for this is what she won out of her last relationship. Until I met a girl that had a kid that I adored and was like, oh my God, this little dude is amazing. You know what I mean? So what was a flag for me became not a flag for me eventually. And it just depends on what the person wants in a relationship. But to say, if you this age and you ain't got no kids, what's wrong with you? And have that be a general statement is stupid.
Yeah, I had a whole argument about somebody who argued with me about never being married, and I was reaching the age of 40 and not being married, so there must have been something wrong with me, and I never wanted to get married, and I was all messed up. And you know, they hit the wrong button, so I was like, you know what? I just didn't fuck up my life like you did the first time. So that's your problem to deal with it. So she pushed the wrong button. Never push my button. I'm an Aries. You don't push the wrong button twice.
Well, here's the other piece,
Don't
man.
tell them what floor we land on.
Anytime that conversation comes up, it's automatically assumed that it's an issue with the man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not, dude, I started in 2007. I started legitimately no longer dating if marriage wasn't the goal. And I did that for about 10 years. And I encountered so much foolery and nonsense and games that by the time I had done it for about 10 years, I said, you know what? All right, fuck it, I ain't never getting married. You know what I'm saying? So
there ain't nothing like being intentional and then watching all those intentions just crash down.
You know, and here I am. I'm thinking I'm the noble dude. Like everybody else is running around trying to find somebody to sleep with, and I'm the one dude that's trying to find a wife. And I'm having more drama than the dudes that got a squad. They got a revolving door, and they sleeping good at night.
I remember declaring I wanted to be in a serious relationship. I met like 3 married women in a row. They didn't tell me they were married when I first met them. I didn't have a ring on because you used to have to watch the left hand to tell. But then that kind of ran out because if you ain't wearing them, you don't know. And literally, like in a row, 3 married women. Like I'm ready to settle down. I'm Mr. Ready to be good. And I was like, oh, this is some bull. Like it obviously is a sign that I shouldn't be good.
So what did you say to him, Glenn? What did you say to God that got those women coming to you?
No, it was like I met them just out. I had just.
Hey, Rob, he's not sharing the fact that that was his male hooker days.
I was never a hooker, Sean. Stripper maybe, hooker never. Okay, get it right.
That's why you know they never asked him about being married, and they thought they were okay because they were married because he was down at the Chippendales Training Academy. And,
you know what? You don't question where the tips come from if they're big tips. That's the rule.
Hey man, let's move on. I saw another quote, man, that says basically says no man is too busy for the woman he wants. The quote goes like this: honestly, if a man wants you, you won't have to ask him for any effort. He'll make time, he'll call, he'll text. Trust me, no man is too busy for a woman he truly wants. I'm gonna ask Steve to handle this one first, since I know he said he owns about 4 businesses, and I'm gonna ask Neil, because he owns about 76 businesses. But Steve, come on with it. No man is too busy for the woman he really wants. That's what.
No, I agree. I agree with that. If you find someone, truly find somebody that you feel that you're yoking with, that person is somebody that you're really vibing with, you will make the time for that woman. You figure out a way. You figure out a balance. As difficult as it may be, you will figure out a balance that you will find the time to be with her. Now, how that's going to come about, that's always the question, and that's always, that's the game to it. But you will try to make that effort to definitely be with her. If you really feel that she's the one, you'll make that time for her. Absolutely.
Male Rob.
So this is a quality versus quantity type deal for me, depending on what I have going on in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And This is one of the reasons why I like dating entrepreneurs, right? When I've dated people that have had traditional jobs and they're from 9 to 5, they think after 5 o'clock you should just be doing whatever you need to do with them. Whereas somebody who's has an entrepreneurial mindset is more in tune with what your grind and hustle has to be. So, you know, I think it's more of a quality versus quantity type deal. So if I'm on the grind and I'm working on a project or I got something going on, but the time we do spend is super dope and it might not be in wonderful abundance and she can handle that because she understands me, then I'm good. And we're good. But there are times when, you know, there's been a thing of my ex, you know, we don't do this, we don't do that. And you know, I was like, look, to provide this type of lifestyle, going back to the first question, I can't be out on the couch with you eating bonbons, watching TV all day. Like that's for where we live and where your kids need to go to school. We can't do this like this. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a lot of time, especially when, you know, you're trying to get your business off the ground or not working, and I am pretty much the sole source of income. It can't be that. So I'm more of a, if the time is dope and we don't have a lot of it, then, you know, if she can understand that, then it's Gucci. I mean, I will make time and I will make it a priority, but I also got goals and purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
I hate to agree with Mel, but he's right.
Hey man, I usually am. That's why I'm the voice of reason. It's okay, Glenn. Just let it happen. Just let it happen.
No, you're just a reason for the voice. You're not a voice of reason. But he's right.
That's hard to follow up behind.
Glenn, since you decided to jump in there, I'm going to ask you to.
Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't my time.
Yeah, it wasn't your time. So I'm going to ask you to expound and continue.
No, to Mel's point though, you need to be vibing with that person, because if I'm vibing with you, if you're an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur, then a date could be us sitting up figuring out another business, and that's kind of sexy to me.
Yeah, that ain't a date. It might be sexy, but that ain't a date.
That
I mean, maybe y'all doing it naked.
That's you just a freak, Sean. Just admit this. Let's just call it what it is. Everything involves nakedness, a red room, a whip, or a chain. You don't always need a whip or chain to stimulate.
Or swinging from the chandeliers.
Or swinging from the chandelier, Sean. I mean, all of that can come, and much
you just want to stay calm and get away with it. Robert, you have anything you want to share about it, man?
You know, Mel already hit on it, but I think I have not dated entrepreneurs because I've been in corporate for 30-something years, and being in the sales world, you know, the women or the woman that I chose to marry did not understand that I had to work really hard to get those sales numbers up, because you're only as good as your last sale. So it doesn't matter that I'm going to Diamond Club, you know, for all these different years. If I ain't producing,
Diamond Club, that's a retreat in
Circle of Excellence, Diamond Club. That's what they call it in corporate.
President's Club.
President's Club. They change it. But I mean, you know, I think to Mel's point, you know, now that I'm an entrepreneur, I need an entrepreneur because I need someone who thinks what can we do? How can we generate wealth? You know, together.
I don't think you need an entrepreneur, but that's certainly
mindset.
Helps. But yeah, I think that someone who's open-minded will work, you know.
But it's what stimulates you, though, Sean. It's what excites you.
How you gonna tell that man what he needs?
Well, yeah.
So let me go. So, ladies, I need an entrepreneur mindset. You know, this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking for.
Woman that drink coffee, so we know that you're not like.
Did Robert just lean into the TV and tell them to feel the warmth of his sincerity?
He said if he couldn't take the woman to Starbucks, he wasn't dating her. So we already know.
We know that. We know if you drink Dunkin'.
See, that used to be on the profile.
Wait a minute,
if you don't drink, you know, Starbucks, we got a problem. Go ahead, Steve. Talk to us.
She has to understand the grind. As Mel said, she has to understand. And I mean, look, my grind is true. My grind is 24/7, and you have to understand that grind. And if you understand what my goals are, what my aspirations are, and if I'm telling you, I say, look, this is not only me and you together. This is not only for me. This is for you. This is for me. This is for us. You got to understand my grind. Now she can understand that grind.
Right.
You to deal with that grind. Then we like now Mel said, then we Gucci. I'm Gucci with you all day. But
my point is though, Steve, it's possible to find somebody who is corporate America, but they understand your grind. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I was in corporate. I was in corporate 27 years before I had my business, and I get the same thing too. But a lot of times, people in corporate who may have that standard 9 to 5, where I had a standard 9 to 5. We started work. The work started coming to maybe 3:30, 4 o'clock, and you stayed to 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. If a person just did that first straight 9 to 5, they going home talking about, well, why you late or why you always out of town when you travel. I'm like, and as my man said, it's like, if you want a premium life, I can't give that to you on White Castle cash and ingredients. It just doesn't work.
White Castle.
Come on, White Castle. Now talk to us, brother.
Because I say that all the time.
No White Castle women.
I can't give you can't expect filet mignon, and I'm giving you White Castle cash ingredients. The two just do not mix.
Right.
Right.
Did you say White Castle cash and Twinkies? What was the last part?
White Castle cash ingredients.
Ingredients. I thought you said Twinkies.
And Twinkies.
Damn, boy.
My only point is that
White Castle. You got to go home and get a Twinkie.
My only point is that I don't think it's impossible to find somebody who's not in that world that can let you do your thing. That's the only point I'm making, because everything that I've ever done has always been unique, or my mate has been unique. I mean, I once was in a 5-year relationship with an obstetrician, and as her residency started, she was on what's called Q3. So every third day she had to work 36 hours.
Sure.
I'm a 9 to 5 dude, but I understood what she was doing. So I never complained about it. I tried to be supportive. I remember one time we sat down and calculated the time that she wasn't at the hospital in a 7-day period, and it came out to 38 hours in a week. That's including travel time and sleep time. So my point is just that if you find the right person, it doesn't matter what they do. They'll respect your grind, and they will wait for those beautiful moments that y'all can have together when you're not grinding.
Right.
And they'll have your back. Like right now, as an owner of a photography business, I work a lot on the weekends. Sometimes I got to work for 4 or 5 hours, and I didn't know I had to the day before. And so I can't control that. But anybody who's rocking with me, even if they're corporate America, they understand what my life requires.
Right. I think it's more of a probability thing, though, right? So we're not saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying it's more likely that somebody who works like you work understands you better than somebody who doesn't.
Exactly.
Not that they can't be somebody in corporate America, but the past couple of people that I dated, one of them was corporate, one of them was an entrepreneur. The one that's an entrepreneur, we rock out. We have a ball. We can go play. It's like if we out of town and I'm like, well, I ain't got to go back. And you ain't got to go back. What we gonna do? We can stay extra days.
Yeah.
Because we understand each other, as opposed to the person that has to be back at the desk or in front of the computer, or is not working from home. So there's a level of understanding that people have. Like and this has been an evolutionary thing. So I'm to the point now where I'm a Pareto principle everything. I'm an 80-20 guy when everything that I do. I don't want somebody who's opposite of me. I want somebody that's about 80% like me. And you got to be 100%, but about 80% like me. So we agree on a lot of the same shit, have a lot of the same interests, want to do a lot of the same things. And then that other 20% that's not alike, we can explore each other, learn, and do all of that other stuff. But if we like the same stuff, then it's cool when we want to watch a TV show, or it's cool when, where we want to eat and all of that other stuff. It's easier for me. Not that everybody's like that, but for me, I'm more like that now. So in a career path, I would rather have somebody who's more like me. Not that they have to do exactly what I do, even though that would be awesome. But has the same type of, energy around their career, their passion, their entrepreneurship.
Right. And I think everybody needs to understand, you get in your 40s, you're not going to find a man that's going to sit on the phone with you all night. We got stuff to do. Like, we ain't going to be there. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, we're not doing that anymore.
I just want to hear you breathe.
Yeah,
just breathe.
I just want to hear you breathe, baby. Here, this song is just for you. Okay, no. They got to get up and go to work or do whatever they do as an entrepreneur. They got to get up and grind. So it's not going to be like that. It's not all the fairy tale. So get over it. Men and women. There's some men that want the fairy tale too. Some of you men want the damn fairy tale as well. Y'all need to get over it too. So all of you get over it. Get you somebody that you're compatible with. And let's move on. Next question, Sean.
Come on, Glenn. Go on.
Glenn got a little intro tonight, and he think he running shit.
My show. This is my show. Like I've been telling people,
what I do
Secrets from the Cave, my show.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Man, I'm a drink. I'm a drink to that, Glenn.
Media production.
Hey, before I drop this next question, because I think it's gonna get a little thick when we got about a little around 20 minutes, and it's gonna get a little thick. Ladies, I'm gonna need you to lean in because it's gonna get a little thick. And before I do that, I'm gonna ask Steve what you're drinking. What's in that glass, brother? What you drinking?
Woodford Reserve, my brother. Woodford Reserve.
You drinking Woodford Neat? You drinking Woodford Neat? All right. That's Glenn's bourbon right there. That's
good drink, Steve. Good drink. You can come back on my show
anytime.
Anytime.
You can come back on this show, but if Glenn and this show, Steve, don't go because he don't have a show.
You know, I am a senior executive producer on 3 shows on Indie Network. The top 3 shows, as a matter of fact, Sean. So
is that right?
Only 2 of them are real shows, Sean. Glenn.
From the Cave is a real show. Raj, no, look. I'm sorry, Raj cares about the numbers. So y'all just have to know when it comes to anything else. Y'all know what Raj cares about.
Robert, you seem particularly sober tonight. What are you drinking?
Thank you for asking, my brother. I'm actually drinking Buffalo Trace.
Oh, Buffalo Trace is one of my favorites, man.
Yeah. They didn't have the Blantons today at Benny's when I went.
Yeah.
So I had to get the Buffalo.
Neil, I already know you're drinking water.
Water reserve.
I think my dad has new privileges or something in Nashville because he gets called when the Blanton comes in the liquor store.
And I need to be down. This is down in Memphis, Glenn?
Nashville.
Yeah. I go there every Wednesday looking for it, and they don't have it.
Yeah.
I won't touch my Blantons, man, right now because I'm like, I want a whole bottle before I kill this. I got about a fifth of my bottle left, and I'm like, okay, I want a new bottle before I kill it.
Drink that shit before your cat knock it over.
You about right. So check this out, man. This is solely damn Mel. This is solely.
All right, man. I'll drink to that one. I'm gonna drink to that one too. I'll drink to that one. That was
he ain't up on the table or nothing tonight. We ain't seen him. I don't know what
that's my reason for the voice line right there. I'll give it to you, man.
Hey, so check this out, man. This is strictly my question. And this is because I have come across brothers that fall into this category. I don't fall into this category. And as I look around, Steve, you are currently single, correct?
I am.
Okay. Hey, man, I'm asking all of you, when it comes to the bedroom and what you like, is there a difference?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm leaning in because I'm ready for this one. Go on.
Is there a difference in what you want from your wife versus what you want from a woman that you're dating, but you don't have the ultimate commitment with? And I asked, let me explain why I asked the question. I know more than one man, and I know women that have shared with me that their husbands don't want them to do the grimy or what's considered the grimy, dirty stuff in the bedroom, but they have been caught tipping, trying to get the grimy from to quote Steve, right? To get the grimy. And so I'm gonna put it like this, and then I'm gonna hand it off to you, Steve, and we're gonna go around. I want the woman that I marry to be willing to meet me in every single space in my imagination. I am still gonna treat her like the queen she is. She can have my kidney on 30 seconds notice, but I don't want there to be anything that I can't experience with my wife.
Absolutely.
Comes to the sexual experience. So, Steve, what do you think?
My thing is,
she may not want your kidney.
just because you could become my wife, I can't turn my freak off. If I'm a freak, I'm a freak, and if she's got to have that freak quality. I mean, she's got to bring it because I'm gonna bring it. So just because you become my wife, and here's the deal: before you became my wife, I was giving you that freak. Before you became my wife, now that you're my wife, you can't be that freak. Now, no, I want that fucking grind. If you can't get grind, you can't get with me. I'm good.
I think the question was more of, though, there's this ideology that some men, not us clearly, but some men will want in somebody they just messing around with qualities that they wouldn't want. You know, they wouldn't want their wife to be that nasty, or they can't do those types of things with their wife. I think in my 20s or in my younger years, there were things that I thought of as super freaky that I wouldn't want, you know what I mean? Because I saw marriage in my younger years as this completely wholesome, you know, type deal, right? But as
I don't mean to cut you off, Mayor. I don't mean to cut you off, but Glenn is clearly not mature enough for this conversation.
No, I'm laughing at him because
No,
he's trying to.
he's not mature enough for this conversation. But Mel, carry on.
No, here's what Mel is trying to say, and he's proper with it. I'm his anger translator. Mel has been a freak from day one, ladies. That's what he's trying to tell you. He's been a freak from 20 to 40, whatever he is right now. He was a freak then. He just sees his freakiness differently. That's all. That's what he's trying to say.
I'm accepting of it in a long-term partner, right? Because there'd be things. I mean, come on now. In college, you'd be like, "Man, this was wild." You know what I mean? And you were like, "I wouldn't make her my girl after she did all that." But now it's like, I want a girl that does all that every day for the rest of my life.
Like, you promise you're gonna do that?
Right. I'm gonna marry you.
Like,
I'm gonna marry you if you do that.
You don't do that.
If you do that thing again, you're gonna get
Like,
That's bullshit, because if she was doing that shit, the guy like, oh, motherfucker, you doing this? I ain't never leaving you. Right.
Love, honor, and obey is a double entendre.
We was good.
Hey man, Robert. So Robert, I think that you're uncomfortable talking about sex, so I'm definitely asking you the question. So I want you to tell me what you think. I want to hear from you, Robert. Talk to me.
Robert took a shot after that.
You know, I think that what we've talked about already is
No. You don't get to do that one this time. I want to know what you think. I want to know what your opinion is. You're not gonna regurgitate anybody else's opinion.
Don getting his Don Lemon on tonight, boy.
Man,
I know, really.
I feel attacked.
You've been ready to be off for 2 weeks. I got it.
I feel attacked. You know what? Here's the thing. I've had the freaks, and I've had the ones that are not freaks, and I've probably married them both. But I want, but this is what I want. I am so much into, if you're gonna swing from the chandeliers while we're dating, I want you to continue to swing from them while we're married. So I want the freakazoid. Can I get that?
The freakazoid.
You asking me?
Midnight Star.
Right.
Go on, Robert, with the Midnight
Hey,
Star.
man, here's my ultimate position on it. I want
Your ultimate position?
to create the environment for my wife.
I thought you said when you were saying position, you had me confused.
I want to create the environment for my wife that allows her to be anything she's ever dreamed of being. As long as we can both occupy that space with a particular comfort level, whatever she's ever wanted to do, she can do it with me.
Well, here's a question behind that, though.
Thank you, Carlo Kennedy.
So here's a question. What if she's not freaky? And so you want her to be freaky, you want her to be uninhibited.
Robert. It's your job.
That coming in the
side.
Hey, one at a time, Glenn. One at a time. Go ahead, Robert.
I mean, there's this whole wholesome piece of it when we meet somebody, they're wholesome and things like that. It's not until you get them. Well, maybe
not for me. No, if you too wholesome on the first date, it's not going to be a second date unless you're lying. Like, you know what I'm saying now? Like, I went to dinner with a woman who told me she didn't kiss because there were too many germs passed.
That would not be my woman.
And I thought, the stuff I got planned for you to do, we can't date. If you don't want to kiss.
Wait a minute. Time out. Steve, you were about to say something, Steve. Go ahead.
Come on, Steve. Help us out, brother. Come on.
My point was, I'm like, you know that you don't know whether she's a free coming to the game. You talking about you don't know if she's yeah, you do. You start talking to her, you already know. You know what her game is. Just talking to, just like you said when you first talking to somebody, you already know you're gonna do the one when you first meet them. You already know in that first 10 minutes whether you want to date them, talk to them, whatever category you want to place them in. You know what her game is, and she's gonna tell you anyway. She's gonna tell you what she's on. Just like she's gonna tell her what we on.
So, ladies, here's a lesson to you: don't be fronting and lying on the first date like you don't do nothing, because sometimes that's what the man is looking for. He wants an uninhibited mate because he's looking down the road. So my man David Showers, shout out to my man David Showers, he used to call it a list of what I ain't gonna do. And I always say I don't date women with a long list of what I ain't gonna do. Like, I'm too old for that. 20 years old, you can tell me, yeah, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that. But as we get older, like, some stuff ain't even taboo. I mean, oral sex ain't taboo. Oral sex is just oral sex.
Wait a minute.
But wait a second. Good oral sex.
With a lampshade on.
Well, we're not talking about quality yet. Go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was reading what Rhonda said. She said you got to hang from the chandelier with a lampshade on your head. I just had a vision. That's all.
Me too. I'm looking at that one, man.
Look, I've been trying to ignore what Rhonda's been saying all hour because I've been seeing her chime in.
Oh boy.
But anyway. Absolutely, Rhonda. Folks should get what they want and need, because here's the reality. If you don't, that leads to you seeking it outside. And that's my whole point. Like, why would you commit your life to someone that doesn't feed what you want or doesn't meet you in the space that you want? That's beyond me. I just don't. And then you want to be, unless you go into it with no intention of being loyal and faithful. Like, my desire is to be loyal and faithful, which means I need you to be equipped a certain way so that, nothing that I want is outside of my home. That's just, and if that's primitive, ladies chime in and let me know and check me, and y'all done cussed me out before. So, let me know that I'm a creep or whatever, but that's
you love tonight, Sean. They actually love you tonight.
Tonight, okay, I'm gonna enjoy the love tonight.
They said you're not freaky enough.
Yeah, they say you need to break it. Your little tongue. They don't know him well, though. That's the ones that don't know him well.
I don't have to read the comments to know they ain't say that.
Yeah, they not paying attention because they need to know that you're a freak. It's okay.
They haven't seen the other shows that they don't know you're a freak yet.
Look, I don't.
Ladies, Sean and Robert's inboxes are open. Their DMs are open.
It's Shoot Your Shot September, women.
That's right.
I've designated it Shoot Your Shot September. So Sean, Robert, wide open.
Hey man, we got about 10 minutes, man. And I don't want to. I feel like I have thrown every topic of my own personal interest at y'all tonight. So I appreciate you all for. And I noticed, Roger. But anything, man, y'all want to talk about on this last show, Steve? We honored to have you on our last show before we take a little break. Anything that y'all want to talk about, man, before we get out of here? I don't have to say how much I enjoy you guys, man, and how grateful I am to be in this position as we take a break before we pick back up the second half of the season. But anything on your mind at all, man, you want to share with the good people before we disappear for a few weeks?
And we're just disappearing for 2 weeks, so.
Yeah, we will be back. This isn't a cancellation.
That was a lower your panties voice you just used right there.
We just gonna be back for 2 weeks. This is Robert's love, man. Ladies, I just want you to stay cool.
That's right. Ooh.
Robert, that was Robert's message. I'm everybody's translator tonight. Hey, on a serious note, I want to say to Benita Johnson and to Guy Jazzy Rainey, who was on a guest on our show, great guest on our show. He lost his wife.
Yeah.
Week. Just saying, we thinking about you. Peace, love. We love you. And to Benita Johnson, who lost her father, she's host of Books and Bottles. We love you, Benita. Praying for you, praying for your strength as well. On a serious note, all you part of the family. So we got to let you know we're thinking about you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you to everybody who showed up, because y'all are staying on here. Y'all are listening. Y'all are engaged. I'm proud of you. I got friends who knew me back when I was a little nerdy kid. That was a long ass time ago.
No, it wasn't.
But
last week.
I'm just a poor, simple Southern boy. I'm just making something trying to survive with these
all they men watching the football game. All they men watching the football game. That's why they're in here with us. So they like.
Is that why the numbers are up? I thought the numbers are up.
Terrell is preoccupied. I'm gonna go in here in the cave and hang out with the men while he watched Dallas and Tampa Bay.
See, and I thought it was me. Well, it's okay.
You thought they was in here for you?
Did you see our promos that we put together today?
I saw Glenn.
Did y'all see these comments where all these women talking about they not wearing drawers?
Yeah, TJ Curry, you just acting
where
up tonight, girl.
Where is that at? Let me look. I gotta put my glasses.
A lot of these comments are hot tonight. What is going on?
I love her.
I'm missing some. Jesus. Ooh. Okay.
They just want to be free. Let it breathe, baby.
Right.
Let that motherfucker breathe.
It needs some air. It needs some air.
So Kevin Roberts, our favorite guy, posted a meme that said that the men who date women who are heavier are just using them as excuses because they can't find a thin woman. What do you think about that?
I think everybody has their flavor and their type and their preference, and I think larger ladies fall right into people's preference and what they like, and I think that's quite all right. Like everybody that knows me knows I like short hair, bald head, petite, shapely. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't show up with anybody and they go, oh, this really don't seem like, no, they go.
But have you ever done that? Have you ever showed up with a woman and your friends pull you to the side and be like, what are you thinking?
That's what I'm thinking, but just, I haven't got 4 episodes. What'd you say now?
Glenn, you a wildcat.
Every 4 episodes, he tell a story about how he showed up with this girl and his buddy.
I know you're not talking, Mr. You Know What You Did. Every every other episode. You haven't done it this episode.
I'm just speaking to your point. That's all.
Oh, I do that a lot.
You know what you did when you crossed me.
Speaking of what you did.
I've dated women taller than me. I've dated women with hair down their back. I don't discriminate, but most people know more than likely, the person that I date is probably going to be bald head, really short hair, and full lips. And
so, ladies, all you ladies with short hair, we want you to reach out to Sean. Sean,
put on a short wig.
Put on a short wig.
Put all that hair up into that short wig.
Just wrap the hair, do a little knot, do the bun, and put on like a short wig.
No, I don't do them crisis ponytails now.
And it's waiting on you. Sean's DMs are waiting for you.
See,
it's the crooner on Instagram.
I don't mind if they got short hair, if they got horse hair. It don't make a difference. If I can pull it, if I can rub it, it's all good.
On that note,
that's the price for me liking short hair, because I'm a hair puller. So,
Are you a hair puller and you like short hair, Sean?
Well, because everybody I date doesn't have short hair. So
you don't have scratches on our head from where you forget. And then you gotta
No, then it becomes ears, I have to pull whatever I can. Ears, nostrils, I don't know.
Women come away from Sean with
Steve said, wow.
All right. On that note, Steve, what do you have going on? Tell us about what you got.
Yeah, we got about.
Come on, Steve. Talk to us, brother.
So,
I can tell you one thing. This has been enlightening, dude. I'm sorry I have missed it. And I will tell you from here on out, I will be tuning in every Thursday night from here on out when you all get back.
Man, I don't know if you saw your man Phil.
I'll be back.
Phil Beckham fell in through here, so I know you know Phil, and he was hanging out with us for a little while.
Phil's my dude, yeah. Phil's my dude, yeah. But I will be tuning in to you guys, and this is good. This is really good, and I really thank you all for inviting me here. It's been great. It's been great.
Man, I hate that this is the first time that I ever actually got to engage you, because like I said, I've seen you 1,000 times. Just I don't know you personally, so I had no reason to walk up and go, "Hey, brother, I see you all the time." You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad that we got a chance, man, to actually meet. And so now the next time I see you, I can actually speak to you because we have met. So, Mel Rob, you had your hand up like you was in grammar school. Talk to me.
I do. So, ladies and gentlemen, on November 13th, I will be performing on the second largest stage in America, the Airy Crown Theater. I have a play called When Mars Meets Venus. One of our guests from a few weeks back, Messiah Equiano, is the writer and director of the play. So come out. I will put the ticket link in the comments. Also, too, if you have a group of 10, I can get you discounts on your ticket. So if you want to do a group, hit me up, inbox me. But it is a romantic comedy drama. It is hilarious. It's a dope show. One show only. November 13th, Airy Crown Theater, Chicago. For those of you watching the show that aren't in Chicago, make it a trip. Come on.
Hey, Rob and Sean, we should get tickets and go that night. We should go.
Yeah. We should. Let's do it. Yep.
We should. But he did say romantic comedy, and
he did, Robert.
And I ain't got no date, but we can figure out something.
You already know been pushing the tickets to us already. Period. So you already know we got it.
Yeah, really, you know it. Yeah. So shoot your shot September. Keisha Rose is going to have I Am helmets for women to date Sean with short hair, so that you can protect your head in the back when Sean gets a little excited and think he's grabbed the pony.
Let me just say, there are women watching without short hair that I have dated. So it is known that I have 8 people with.
I'm just saying for the ones with short hair, I'm looking out for them. And Keisha's developing a helmet that can help protect them from you. It's a Sean, she calls it the Sean Proof helmet. The I Am collection by Keisha Rose. So lip gloss, candles, and helmets now. We expand it. We combinate and consolidate like Nino Brown said.
Before we get out of here, I noticed that we got both Dr. Nicole and Dr. Rhonda in the audience tonight, from Doctor to Doctor, who's had us on their show. Shout out to ladies. We love and appreciate you all. And it's about time for us to close out, man. It's been a good run. We need the break. We'll be back on what date, Glenn? What's the date that we come back? Are we
I don't know. I might not be back after tonight. They might not let me back on.
If I got anything to do with it, you won't be back.
We'll be back on the 30th.
The 30th, September 30th, everybody.
I might be here that night.
So we will be taking 2 weeks off, regrouping, resetting, and we'll be back on September 30th, 9:00 Central Standard Time. We appreciate your support, but we're looking for your support. We Steve James, thanks so much, man, for spending this hour with us.
Thank you.
And until the 30th, it's been live from the cave. We'll get at y'all next time.
Camped out at home for COVID? Join us, Indie TV, where you will see the talk shows, movies, drama, action, and comedy. Be the first and see it first. Sign up now for free at Indie TV.